Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing today, my YouTubers? Today, I bring you a video for foreclosure. What do you mean? Give me a sec. I'm sorry. My YouTubers, once again, today, I'm bringing you this video on foreclosure homes for those family that lives or is living on a foreclosure home. Close my door. So I bring you guys information on how to stay home, stay in your property. And this couple of meaning when I say stay home at a foreclosure home. Let me come again. Let me explain a little better. What I'm trying to introduce here is that people where people that that gives you or rents you a home, a full complete home. Okay, a full complete home or an apartment. How can you guys not suffer from this? Meaning, you are looking for an apartment or you're looking for a home to rent, and you found one. Unfortunately, you guys would not know if the property is in foreclosure or the property has been taken away from the owners. Like in my case, it happened to me. I rented a home with my 3 boys, my wife, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, and I. So that's 3 and 4, 7 people. The rent was $2,700 a month. They wanted 3 months up front and 1 month for real estate. There's different ways. When I rented it, I didn't have no real estate agent. It was the direct, what do you call it? It was just a direct deal. It was never no real estate involved. So that gave me a red flag. That right away it said, wait a minute, you want to take from my pocket $2,700 3 times, and then you want to add an extra one for real estate. So that's 4 ways. Do the calculation. We're talking about over $10,000. But I was in a rush. I needed to move because my lease was up, and I needed to move because the people that I was where I was rented at, they needed the apartment for a family member that was coming from Canada. Okay. So we made a deal. I said, okay, I move out. I was looking for a home. The time was very short. So sometimes, you have to move on a certain date, and the date is closed. Sometimes, plus you have a family like I do. I have 7 people behind me. So that means I'm very desperate. But even though I was desperate, I always, try to do my best to find, something that will go against. I couldn't rent an apartment because there's no apartment that will allow you 7 people to live. So what is my next step? Look for a house. So I did. I looked for a house. I found a house. Um, Unfortunately, when I came to speak to the owner came to me and she said, "Yes, I am the owner of this property." I said, "Okay, no problem. My name is Alex." We introduced ourselves. We went to each other. We spoke for a couple of days. Um, she look, people. If you see and you have cash in your hands, I know sometimes the time and the places is not always there. Sometimes you get lucky to find a place, but doesn't mean you have to rush through things. You know, you always tell them, look, I'm interested. Just give me at least 3 days so I can come up with the money. I have it. I just got to pick it up from the bank. Just make up a story so you can have a time frame to figure out things and put things in perspective places. And when I say that is for you guys to be safe because you guys are not handing out $10, 20. You're handing out thousands of dollars. You know, and it could be hard. You know, when you come up and you're gonna rent a place and you have to come out with $12,000. That's not chump change. That's a lot of money. That's almost a year worth of work. If you know people making $7.50 an hour, that's almost a whole year work. Anyway, so I started talking to the lady, and we made a deal. And when it came up to making the payment, first she spoke to me about $2,700 a month, uh, and she needed 3 months up front. You know, security, the security deposit, and the first month to move in. I was like, okay, you know, I was kind of, it's a house, so I figured that, okay, there's a little bit more lenience because it's a whole property for myself. The owner's not living in the property, just me and my family, nobody else. So I said, okay, no problem. So when it gave up the money, she says to me, well, you know, you're still missing 1 month's deposit. I said, why? I gave you 3. You said that you needed first month to move in, the security, and the deposit. You know, so she says to me, well, you know, there's a real estate fee. I said, why? There was no real estate involved here. It was a party between the owner and the tenant. There was never a third party on. It was just only me and you. So she says, well, yeah, you know, I have the house listed on a real estate agent, and yes, we do need a real estate fee. So I said, look, you never told me this at the beginning. Unfortunately, you know, this wasn't talked about, and you know, at the moment, I don't have the money. You know, can we make an agreement? Blah blah blah. Okay, we settled that part. All right. But here comes the part that I want you guys to understand now. This is the part that I want you guys to pay attention to me. When I rented the property, I had the property all by myself. I called the light, electric. Look, guys, before you move into a property that you rent, a whole house, please, before you move in, make sure that you have running water, gas, and electric. And if there's nothing on the premise, on the property that are functioning, the 3 steps, the 3 ones that I just gave you, light, gas, electric, please, before you hand in a dollar, call in your electric company, your water company, and your gas company, and make sure that you can switch everything to your name or connect everything to your name. In my case, nothing was on. So when I moved in, I had to move in right away. So I said, she tells me that I could just call in and get everything connected over the phone. It is true, you can. But only you can if you have already these electric electric things already in the property functioning on. Water running, gas running, light running. Yes, you can call, they switch everything up to your name. Everything's normal. But in my case, nothing was on. So I called. First thing I called was LIPA. That's my light company. That's the company that I have in my where I live. First thing they tell me is that okay, everything can be connected, but I needed a licensed electrician to come to the property and check if everything was okay to connect. So I said, okay, that was my first, okay, all right, no problem. I said, why you can't, She says, well, call the owner and ask them, to do this because this is not something that I'm responsible. There's nothing I can, I could call the electrician and make the appointment for the owner and let them know, but it's not nothing that come out of my pocket. So I call the light, I call the gas, I call the water. So all the three companies told me the same thing, right after the other. I called first, second, third, same thing. So that gave me a red flag. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going? Like, okay. So I called the owner. The owner said to me, oh, I don't know what's going on, but I'll find out. Give me a day or two. I'm like, look, I'm living in the place. I don't have no light, no nothing. She says, look, you know what? If you want, you owe me a month of real estate. If you want, you could call the electric, the gas, the water company, all these companies, and tell them to come and make sure whatever they charge you, then you save me the bills, everything, etc., etc. I said, okay, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I did that. I did, unfortunately, I did everything that I needed to do to get all my things in fair. Like, first of all, I'm gonna block out the address, but as you can see, Basic Electric Inc. Look first, ladies and gentlemen, look how much they charged me the first one, $750. That was the first one. That was the electric. Then came was the heating. I needed a pressure test, gas piping within home gas test, held 3 PCI for 30 minutes because nothing was on. So I said, okay, I win. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I did all of that. Look how much they charged me. License, everything. $450. And for the water, same people. How much? $420. Okay. So now I got all these things done, and what happened? I called the owner and I explained to them and I left a message. Nobody picked up the phone. So I said, okay, no problem. Nobody picked up the phone, blah, blah, blah. After that, I'm not going to go into detail because if I go into details, we're going to be here all night. But what happened was nothing was working in the property. The property been closed down for over 2 years. Yes, 2 years. And after a year, when the property is closed down for a year or haven't been properly used or no electric companies or gas company, anything been working in the property, after a year, you have to do all these testing to make sure that the pipe are good, there's no leak in the gas, the electric is all good to be connected. So that was my third flag right there. So I started finding out about the property. I said, you know what, let me find out, what's going on. While I'm in the transaction, I'm finding everything out about this property. What happens? I get people that I don't even know walking into the property, taking pictures. When you see a person taking picture of that property, heads up, eyes open. Something's wrong. So I walk out and I said to this person, look, what are you doing here? Uh, who are you? He says, oh, I'm from the bank. I'm like, what do you mean you're here from the bank? I'm thinking she's selling the property, but I don't know how she's selling the property if I got a lease for 2 years or a year, whatever lease you have, you know. So I said, okay, she, and I start asking question. Always ask question, always. So I started asking question about, what is he about? So he tells me that the property is for, the property has been foreclosed. The property is the bank's own it. What do you mean the bank own it? I just rented this property, and I just spent that. I can even imagine. That gave me a headache, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because when he told me that, now I got my family at risk. My whole family's at risk. And plus I started the basement that from the property that I lived, destroyed, mold all over the place, lead paint. The walls upstairs was, ladies and it was unbelievable. So I started fixing everything. I got I got to first. I got to take care of I got kids. I got 3 boys, 3 young ones, under 10 years old. So I got to make sure that they are living healthy. They're living in a place where they're gonna be fine for the next 2 years. Nothing's gonna happen to them. So what I have to do as a parent, me and my wife, started fixing all of these things that we didn't have the money to. We had to borrow money from people, jobs, and people that loan money, and look, ladies, I have to work 8, 9 months, or maybe more, to pay all the money that me and my wife owe to just on fixing this place. Ladies and gentlemen, we spent just on moving into this property. We spent over $25,000 just to move into this place in 3 months that we've been living here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 3 months, $25,000. But this is where I'm gonna switch a little bit. So, maintaining the property and all these things that I did to this property, the house was sold. No, I never had any notice. No notice came to my door, nothing. They sold the property. If I tell you how much they sold the property, you won't even believe it. $100 they sold this property for. I could have bought the property for $100. Nobody informed me, no letter came in, nothing. So now what happens to me? I'm in the street. I'm going to the street, look like. So now they have a real estate agent trying to work with me and, do these things with me and blah, 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 and this and this and that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God there's always a God. Things happen for a reason. Always think about the worst thing that happens to you. Sometimes at the moment is the worst, but sometimes at the end, always at the end, there's always a meaning. There's always something that comes behind that. And on our case, it came on that we had an angel that came to our property, to our home, and he informed us. His name is Mr. Lehman Legal. Editorial Service LLC. Anyway, this person came to our door and explained to us and gave us the whole rundown for our property. The property that been foreclosed, if you could see there, the property being foreclosed, everything, all the information, everything. Anyway, so he told us that, he started talking to us and, and telling us, if we knew about this, we never knew about this. The owner, from the past 2 months, we have not having even had a word with the owner. You know what happened? The owner lost the property. She has still access to the property. and she rented the property to take out as much money as she can before she lost, because she lost everything. So she still had access. Why not? So she took all that money from us. And unfortunately, what we started doing? Pumping money into the property, because the property was never, not livable. It was not livable. So we started, me and my wife, we had nowhere to go. What we have to do? Fix the property. So we started, everything we bought, from a toenail, anything, we wrote and we saved all the receipts, because we was going to show the owners. Just in case if they came back or whatever, anything happens, we have proof of what we did. You know, it's unbelievable and how it is, but unfortunately, this worst case is a 9. But this angel came to our property and he told us a way where that we can get legal help, you know, how to stay at home, how to stay here, you know, or try to get our money back, or for, because what they did, we was not, when we rent, we not supposed to fix house, we not supposed to fix basements, we not supposed, nothing. But unfortunately, we cannot leave these things undone on the property because we have kids. My mother-in-law, it's have diabetic. She has like 4, 5 different problems in her health problem, that we cannot live like that. So we did all these work to this property, and imagine I mean, ladies and you can imagine, we did everything to this property. But what I'm here is to inform you guys that if this case that I'm producing to you guys, and it's something that you can relate to me, where somebody took your money and they stiff you with your money, or you rented a property that, you know, is going for foreclosure, or the bank has it, or anything like that, and you want to get your money back, or try to see how can you at least save something to go to another place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is a place you came to. There's there's like 5, 6 different forms that you need to produce your case. Okay. The first one that I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna just cover some things up. I'm just gonna cover one part up, but after that, the first thing you have to do is you have to write and get a Supreme Court, State of New York, County of Nassau summons to produce. Here we go, on the bottom, to the above name defendant. So you have to find out everything, who the owner is or who the property is. You have to investigate, or, you know, get somebody that can help you with that. I have the person for that, just in case. You can write a comment or leave a name or a number, and I probably can get back to you and give you the information. So that's the first one. I'm sorry, my phone is kind of low on battery, so. But that's the first one. You have to go to whatever county you're from, you go to your county supreme and you get all these done. So that was my first step. I did all these documents. I did this one. I did the summons. After the summons, you have to do a notice of motion. Notice of motion, as you can see, notice of motion. Notice of motion. Then the other one is a late verified answer to late verified answer. Okay, and whenever you do these paperwork, always original and copy. And your copy, receive date, stamp it. When they stamp the original, they'll stamp yours. So you can have everything. Then you have to get show another one, which is called order to show cause for hearing or the merit and issue, and the interview as third party tenant. Okay? All right? That's me. So remember, there's like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to secure money that you spent on this property that you wasn't supposed to, or things like that, or you've been, like what happened to my case, I got robbed. Let's talk reality. We got robbed. Um, there's another one that is called where you can put a mechanical lien on the property. Mechanical lien on the property. So you have a mechanical lien towards that property, so you can have something secure. To see what deal can be done. All this money, we wasn't supposed to spend over $25,000 in this property. I have receipts, not fake receipts. I have company's receipts, and all these motions, as you can see, all these motions that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4. All these motions, ladies and gentlemen, cost a lot of money. All these motions, the cheapest one was $45. Okay. Other than that, everything else was $210, $45, $45, $315, and $315 for all these things I have. And I'm sorry, I was missing 2 more. Sorry, and then you have to do another one. Notice of pendency. Okay. All right, and that's I think that was $5. Yeah, that was $5. And ladies and gentlemen, and this will give you opportunity to get something back. But what happened to us was, I hope it doesn't happen to anybody out there. But I'm doing this video just so I can help those families out there that are probably going through what I'm going through with my family. Okay? And I hope that, if you do see this video and you can relate to this, please, write a comment back to me. Any information, anything, you can ask me look, what I've been through for the past month, but what I'm doing is going to be benefit for you guys. Okay? There's a guarantee on this. And you can write anything. Tell me whatever you want to know, anything. I can help you. And questions that I can't, I will advise you to go to the next person out there that gave me the information, which is this person here, that gave me the information. I'll give it to you for free. I'll send you to him. This person is an angel of God that was sent to us. And I hope that you guys can have a relief, staying in this property. Because when this happens and you live in a foreclosure home and they sell the house and you live in you know what they do? There's only 2 things that can happen. First, you're going to live there for 6, 7 months and kicked out. Or the bank can come to you and say, look, you know what? I'll give you 5, 6,000, 7,000. Move out, leave, have a good day, and that's it. What do you mean that's it? Everything we spent in this property and all that, all this hard-earned work, things that you wasn't supposed to do, and landlord and nobody's helping you guys and anything. No, that's not right. That's not right. So I advise you, as something that happened to me, please don't be scared. Look, find out information. Okay? There's a lot of things that can be helped towards us. people like us, people in our position. And I would guarantee you that you would be sleeping a little bit better, because I wasn't sleeping at all. You can see how I am. This is how this got me. This the way I this is how this situation has taken a toll of me, because I wasn't sleeping. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't even know if somebody was gonna knock on my door next day and tell me, look, you have to leave. I didn't know what's going on. I just spent over $30,000 and I don't even know what's going on. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let you go. Please take a moment, listen to this video. Don't just go through it. Take the time, use the bathroom, eat dinner, watch the video, because this can be helpful for you. Please don't be scared. Write a comment back to me. Subscribe to my channel. You can write a comment. Alex, please, this is my situation. How can I proceed? Or have any legal information for me? And I will gladly give it to you for free. Nothing. I'm not asking anything. Okay, so please, ladies and gentlemen, don't be scared. Or those people coming on your door, knocking on the door, those banks threaten you guys. Don't take that. Please, write a comment to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you get this information for free. I'll give it to you. You can write to me. I'll get right back to you. I'm on my YouTube channel every day, 7 days a week, 15, 24, almost 24 hours a day. I'm always on it. I always get a notification if anybody writes to me. I helped over 25 families already in the past 2 weeks, just on information that I know. So please take the time. I showed you paperwork. Showed you paperwork. Look, this is not a lie. I did everything. Nassau County, my name, everything is there. I did all of this. Okay? Always have a folder with all your information, with all your paperwork, all your receipts, anything you spend, save it. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for me to say good night. Have a great Thanksgiving and Christmas and a Happy New Year's. I know it's maybe for me, we don't know how the New Year's gonna go, but hopefully we can still be here sharing information for you. But please, don't be scared or intimidated or anything about anybody. And any information you need, please write a comment. I will get back to you. And I'll give you the correct way, or the person to give you the correct answers for your problem or your solution. Thank you very much. Have a good night. And happy, gobble, gobble.